you get that drink.
Welcome back to the Queen's Yanks channel. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend, and I hope everybody's going to have an even better week this week. So we are back today with the Queen's Brûlant, aka the Canadian Premier League prediction show, and we are still doing quite good here on the channel. Had another good week last week, and the only game I picked wrong yet again for the third week in a row, FC Edmonton. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you hear me say something about FC Edmonton, do the exact opposite at this point. And unlucky for me, FC Edmonton looks like they have maybe won a couple of games this week, I'm assuming. We got quite a few games this week. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to get to this week. So I'm not going to waste too much longer to get this started, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. On Monday, we have Halifax and Pacific FC. And of the 8 games, this one might be the most interesting one because Halifax sets an atmosphere like no other, probably, especially for a fan to watch. And Pacific FC is probably the second strongest team in the league. Halifax is at home. I think this game will be won and lost in the midfield. However, I do think that there's going to be a little bit of a home field advantage, and believe it or not, I think Halifax is going to pull this one out, but very close, but I think they are going to pull this out. And at this point, we have a 5-team race for the top 4 positions, and Halifax is one of them, and I think they're going to pick up some much-needed points here. So the second game on Monday, we have Valor and Forge. Forge's goal differential in the last the last 6 games has been 10 goals for, 1 goal against, and that's including their CONCACAF Champions League game. Valor, on the other hand, is just completely going the wrong direction still. I know they've picked up a couple of draws, but at the same time, they haven't won a game in a while, and they're in real danger of losing that 6th position to FC Edmonton at this point. That said, I think Forge is probably right now the best team in the league, and I think they are going to pick up some points here. Even though they have a couple of games at hand, I think they're going to win on the road against Valor, which will jump Pacific for first place. So then we're going to go on to Tuesday, which there is 1 game, and we have FC Edmonton taking on Atletico Ottawa, and Edmonton being the home team. Ottawa is very weak defensively. They can be a thorn in people's side. They scored just as much as any team in the league, other than probably the Pacific, but they give up a lot. That back line is very weak. I like Shaw and with Atletico Ottawa, and I like Becky, but at the same time, FC Edmonton has gotten at least a goal in the past 4 games. Ongaro is second in the Golden Boot race with 10 goals. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Edmonton here, so I think Edmonton is going to get the victory at home and pick up a crucial 3 points. But again, 3 weeks in a row I've picked their game wrong, so take that with whatever grain of dust you want to. So then we got 1 game on Thursday, which is Cavalry at home against York FC. This is a hard one. I think both teams are pretty strong. Cavalry, being the home team, is going to pick up a little bit of momentum, I think, but York FC has just been a little more consistent, in my opinion, than Cavalry. And for that reason, I think York is going to squeak out this win. I don't think it's going to be easy. I can see this game going either way, but I'm going to go with York United in this one. So on Saturday, we've got a pair of games. The first is going to be Forge and Atletico, and this is my Queen's Brûlant lock of the week. We have your stereotypical last place team, which if my prediction is correct, first place team. And I don't think Forge is going to have much issue. I don't have much to say about this particular game other than I just think Forge is going to overpower them in every position probably. So then we have Pacific FC and Valor. And Pacific, as I just mentioned earlier, is in that head-to-head battle for that first place spot. And I think, as I already mentioned a little bit earlier about Valor, they're heading a little bit in the wrong direction. Pacific FC has been a little streaky lately, but I think maybe even Campbell might get a brace in this game. I think they're going to not have much issue with Valor. I think they're going to win maybe 3-1, 2-1, something along those lines. So we're going to head into Sunday's game, in which we have two matchups as well. I'm not going to say too much about the teams because I've already covered all the teams at this point because we've got so many games this week. But we've got York United at home against FC Edmonton. The only thing I can see coming into play at this is maybe fatigue for York, as they played just maybe I think 3 days earlier they had a game, and FC Edmonton had a little bit longer of a layoff than that. But if fatigue is not a factor, I think York United is going to just squeak this one out. Again, FC Edmonton is one of those teams where I don't really know what to think of them. On paper, they look decent, but they're just streaky. You never know which team you're going to get. So for that reason, York has just been completely consistent lately. So I'm going with York United to win at home. And the last game of the week, we have Cavalry and Halifax. Cavalry being the home team this time. This is a hard one too, and I think Cavalry will pull this one out at home. I don't think it's going to be a pretty win, but I think they're going to pull it out at home. So that said, those are my picks this week. Again, we had quite a few games to get to this week, so I expect to pick more than just FC Edmonton wrong for once this week. Let me know what you thought of the picks. Let me know what you agree with, what you don't agree with, anybody we should watch out for this week. That said, again, hope everybody has a great week, and good luck to all the teams this week. And yeah, be safe out there.